For those who live this far north, we get all 4 seasons, but the longest season is winter. If you look at winter from the inside of your house, it can be kind of long and crappy. So I think that's why winter camping sounds good to me and why I want to figure it out. All right, so I'm out for a little walk in the snow, and gonna go for a walk with my family here soon. Once they're ready to go, and they just weren't quite ready. Super blessed to be out here in Montana again, visiting family for Christmas. This place, man, just kind of gets in your soul, soaks in and stays, makes you want to come back. So we're back. Wanted to talk a little bit about winter camping. So I've had a little bit of a of a love-hate relationship with winter camping. I love the idea of it, and I've hated how I've done it so far. I haven't done it that well. I've tried it twice. First time was the worst time, and my friend Ryan and I decided, okay, let's go into the Pigeon River country, which is this wild area in northern Michigan where we live, and let's winter camp. That was last year. So we left too late. It was dark. We had headlamps. We were pulling all our gear on a sled behind us, and basically we froze. Okay, we got to our campsite finally, where we wanted to camp on Cornwall flooding. It is beautiful. It was frozen over, and the wind was just coming off the lake right into our face. And because it was dark, we couldn't find firewood. So found some wood. Seemed like it was as dry as we could find, and it just didn't burn well. We finally nursed this fire and got a fire going. Little bitty fire. 2 guys just hugging the fire, you know. Not each other, but the fire. And just wanting warmth and not really finding it. I remember my eyes were watering because you're just hovered over this fire and the smoke's just going straight in your eyes. So I'm basically hugging a fire and crying from the smoke. Anyway, finally get in bed, set up a tent, getting our sleeping bags. He's over there, I'm over here. Set up the buddy heater. We brought a buddy heater with us. A lot of you guys know what those are and how life-saving they are in cold weather. Buddy heater wasn't happy. The buddy wouldn't start. So we're just pushing all his buttons. I'm like shaking the propane pan. I'm like breathing hot air on it. Like, it doesn't work. So we just decided to try to sleep and warm up in the sleeping bags. And it didn't work. So around 3 a.m., I'm like, Ryan, bro, there is no way I'm warming up anytime soon. Let's just head home. So packed our stuff up in the middle of the night. I think it was about 3 a.m. Hiked back across a frozen lake, found our vehicle, went home to a warm bed, and slept in. Fail, big old winter camping fail. Second time was just recently. I had a vehicle that I was driving back from Montana that as I was driving, oh, there's a bald eagle over there on the nest. You won't be able to see it, but nest and bald eagle on it this morning. I had a vehicle that I was driving home from Montana with my family, and we noticed smoke billowing out, pulled over, and there were flames down in the engine. So that was a surprise, but I feel like we were really protected and looked after well in a situation that could have been really bad. And long story short, my vehicle was totaled from the fire. And so I had to get a new vehicle. I got a 2013 vehicle, so it's new to me. And my dad was kind enough to fly out. I flew him out to California. He got the vehicle that I wanted. It had a rooftop tent on it, which I liked the idea of, but actually don't know how to camp, obviously, which I've told you guys before. And so, where was I? He flew out to California, got the vehicle that I found online. Super nice of him to go do that. And he drove it to Phoenix. I flew to Phoenix, met him there so that he could have a partner in crime driving this vehicle home. And if you know my dad, he's like Mr. Map Brain. He loves it. He loves a map, and he loves exploring and seeing creation. So he was like, we can go to this park, this site, this site. We could do this on the way home. So we decided to go see the Grand Canyon. Neither of us had seen the Grand Canyon before. And it was really cool. I'll put a clip in here of the Grand Canyon, maybe a couple of them. I would love to go back there and hike around it more, maybe overland around it. Apparently on the back side of the Grand Canyon, you can drive your vehicle and just camp. Come on. So my dad and I saw the Grand Canyon, and we were like, we've got a rooftop tent on the top, right? Sorry, I'm yelling. Right? Why would we not just stay in the tent? My dad was like, yep, let's just do it. So we found a little shop that sold some little blankets, nothing very warm. And it got down in the 30s that night in just south of the Grand Canyon. There's a national forest that you can just camp in for free. And so that's what we did. We pulled over, found a great camp spot, and froze. It was beautiful, but we froze again. About 3 or 4 a.m. My dad and I look at each other, and we're like, I'm cold. Are you cold? He's like, I'm cold. So we get in the vehicle, start it up, blast the heat, kind of sit up in the car seats, lay back, heater just blasting, and get some more sleep. So that was fail number 2. Go home to Indiana, drop him off at his home, my dad's home in Indiana, drive up to northern Michigan, and now this is just before Thanksgiving, and I've got finally a winter camped, and I stayed warm enough, and I actually really enjoyed it. So I'll share a little bit of that with you, and just wanted to kind of tell the backstory on how I have winter camped poorly, but I'm still committed, and I want to do it again. I want to do it well. So I've done it once well, and I'll share that with you. Hopefully you enjoy, and maybe it'll inspire you to get out with family or friends and explore creation and do something that's a little bit, maybe something new. And even if you fail a couple of times, have a backup plan and then go back in it and see if you can do it well. And let you check it out. So my pops and I met up in Arizona and charted a course to the Grand Canyon. Here's his first reaction when we walked up to check it out.
Yeah, what's the big deal? There's that peninsula thing I was telling you about. I showed you the picture of.
Oh yeah, that must be, maybe that's Mather Point.
Yeah, it is. Wow. Look at that peninsula thing I was telling you about. I showed you the picture of. Oh yeah, that must be, maybe that's Mather Point. Yeah, it is. Wow.
After hiking along the ridge of the Grand Canyon for a little while, my pops and I decided to skip the mundane hotel room and use the rooftop tent. I wouldn't say we regretted it, but we definitely froze a bit. Back home in Michigan, third attempt at winter camping and trying to do it well and stay warm. Went out with my son and we layered up and we did it well. Here's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited for our first night in our rooftop tent.
Yeah.
With my young man, Cruiser Bruise.
Thank you.
All right, so checking in here. First night camping with crew in the rooftop tent. What time is it, buddy?
It is 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock in the morning. We both were just kind of fidgety and moving around. So we have been warm enough tonight, which is a first for me. I've winter camped twice now and basically froze my butt off. One of those times I just went home. I just was like, I'll never warm up. I'm going home. Tonight we've been pretty warm, huh, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty decent, right?
Yeah. Didn't have a problem with coldness or anything.
Yeah. So this is we have a down blanket that we're using. That's all we have on top of us, and it's 30 degrees outside Fahrenheit, and it's been good.
Mm-hmm.
So we also warmed up before we went to sleep with this little buddy heater and propane. Did my homework on that. You do need to vent your tent and have the windows open a bit. So we have windows open on both sides, letting some airflow go through. And then we also have a carbon monoxide detector that we just stole from the guest bedroom and brought out here. But we don't have any guests tonight anyway at the house. So. Other smart thing that came up was there isn't a lot of room in this tent for a couple people and gear. So I just hung my boots by a carabiner. To get them up off the floor, because our boots were just piled on top of each other. And yeah, so that's handy. Mm-hmm. We got our little lantern hanging up there in the corner. We got this next to the Grand Canyon with my pops. I was camping there with him, and there was a little camp shop. You just pull down on it, and it illuminates. Obviously, it's LED and battery powered, but it's kind of nice just to keep it a little bit of light coming out, so you can see around you and that kind of stuff. Back to the buddy heater. This thing puts off some heat. It's on low, which I wish it actually went lower, but it is warming us. Actually, we need to turn it off, but I'll show you this real quick. We set it up first on this cookie sheet, and then on this wooden stool that my Uncle Frank made for us. Actually, he made it for the kids when they were younger, like a step stool to stand on, wash their hands up, and that kind of thing. And now it's keeping this buddy heater up off of our down comforter. Just didn't honestly, it gets everything around it in front of it really hot. So I just didn't want it to start a fire, obviously. The other precaution I have in here is big old fire extinguisher as well, just in case. And we have not ran this heater while sleeping. It's only while we're awake, alert, and can make sure she ain't tipping over and she ain't lighting anything on fire. The ceiling is getting a bit warm too, which means it's melting snow outside, which is kind of cool. You can actually hear it dripping We got a couple of inches of snow last night, and it is just before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is this week. And we live on the 45th parallel north, which is pretty far north in the U.S. And so that's why we get snow early and often and for a long time, probably 6 months of snow. So that's the update. It is early in the morning, but we're looking forward to sunrise. Easy for me to say. Looking forward to sunrise, because that's kind of a cool time of day. And I'm hoping there's some snow coming down then too. We'll see. All right. I'm going to try to go back to sleep, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Whatever.
Morning orange pop this morning, Cruiser.
Yeah.
I saw this on a YouTube channel. A guy was just warming his coffee up in the morning with his buddy heater. So I was trying to take some creative photos when we woke up in the morning, just stomping around in the snow. And I tried this angle from the bushes, and I was like, man, this is kind of creepy looking, actually. So we'll call this the creeper cam. All right, so this was our setup last night. Got a couple of inches of snow, which is fun. And stayed close to home and tried to figure out winter camping without freezing, and we did it pretty well. We were up for a couple of hours, but my son and I had a good time. Got this vehicle because my other vehicle burnt down, caught on fire on the interstate. And so I was thinking about getting some kind of Land Rover that somebody has already done some stuff to, so I don't have to do it and I don't have to pay for it. So hoping to get a vehicle that was kind of like set up, and came across this online, and I was like, never really thought about putting my tent on my roof, and I really haven't camped that much, but I got all inspired and was like, that looks like fun, actually. So if it runs, because it's a Land Rover, I think I'll really enjoy it, and I think it will run. I'll take good care of it, so that's what's up. That's new to me. Well, Cruiser, what'd you think?
I thought it was fun, and I would do it again.
All right.
Yeah.
This time a little further from home.
Yeah, sure.
Cool, buddy. Good job. I'm glad you just kind of say yes to this kind of stuff, and you're up for it. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was fun. Could have probably slept a little better, but we were only up once, right?
Yeah.
It's not that bad. If you want to see more people sleeping on their roofs in winter or all over creation, search overlanding on YouTube. Been watching a lot of videos and learning a lot. I think it's entertaining. Check it out if you're interested.